Yo, what's good? It's Monday, whole nother week. So we're lit. Glad I woke up today. Gotta thank God for waking up every single day. But yeah, I hope my hold on, I gotta fix this because this is crazy. Boom, there we go. Okay. So yeah, what's good, everybody? It's Monday. I know I'm just talking to myself right now, but I just every time I get on these, I feel like I'm talking to someone because I know I'm talking to somebody. I know that people watch these. I also upload these to YouTube every time I make them. So if you want to go on my channel, at Girl Krash, or youtube.com/ at Girl Krash, you'll find me and all the videos that I've ever, well, I guess all the videos that I've ever uploaded that are these long form talking videos. And um, today I want to talk about focus because this is like the story of my life. This is the freaking theme of my life. Like, I feel like I'll go through periods of extreme focus where I'll have complete tunnel vision on one single goal. Like, this was me at the beginning of last year. Really me the entirety of last year, where I totally like shut everything out. I stopped doing everything and I just like only focused on doing things that were really super aligned with my goals and aligned with my project, with Crash World, with just the whole thing. And I'm so happy that I spent that time doing that, because during that time I learned how to work. I learned how to actually focus. I learned how to like say no to everything, to pretty much everything. I said no to everything except for what actually mattered to me at that time, whatever I was trying to get done at that time. And I really, really am proud of myself for doing that. And now I feel like I'm edging on unfocus. I feel like whenever I feel like overwhelmed, or whenever I start to feel overwhelmed, or I start to feel a sense of like I'm doing so many things, or I have to think about, there's so many things that I have to think about, there's so many things that I have to stay on top of. Whenever I start to feel like that, that's when I know. It's like an indicator that's like, oh shoot, like we are losing focus. You know what I'm saying? Because I should never, if I'm actually focused, like I should not feel overwhelmed. I should feel excited and happy and fulfilled. If I feel overwhelmed, it's not really a good sign, because in my world that means that my attention and my brain is being split between too many different things. And that's usually a sign that I need to step back and reevaluate my priorities and my goals and act accordingly and design my life that way. Like when I was really focused on Crash World and getting this world out into actual reality and manifesting this idea that had been in my head for 5 years, I stopped everything and I spent at least 4 hours of focused effort every single day to making sure that I was getting closer to that goal. That is actual focus. And really, I wish that I could have complete focus. It's hard for me to like completely focus on one thing for more than 4 hours. Like after 4 hours, my brain is like, okay, it gets tired. It's like, okay, I want to, it's like, it starts to go other places, it starts to get a little bit tired. If you have it like that though, if you can focus like on one thing for more than 4 hours, for 6, 8, 9, 10 hours, I don't even think you need that. I think you need a lot less time to get towards your goals than you really think. Because that 4 hours got me through like 3 blender courses, 1,000+ songs. Like, so just with 4 hours of actual focused effort every single day, and I just was sitting down and only doing one thing and focusing on just getting one thing done during those 4 hours, or focus on only one project during those 4 hours. That's why I was able to make so much progress so quickly, because I was actually focused and I wasn't overwhelmed. I was very happy. I was happy. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't waking up like fuck. I have to think about this. Sorry, excuse my language. Frick. I have to think about this. I have to think about excuse my language to the Lord. But I have to think about this. I have to think about that. I have to talk to this person. I have to stay on top of this, that. I just felt complete fulfillment. And like knowing that every single day I was making progress, significant progress towards my goal of finishing Crash World as a project, as an idea, or at least getting closer to putting it out, being able to release it into the world. And now I feel myself slipping into a place of unfocus, you know? And it can be difficult because as a business owner or someone that has a business or is wanting to start a business or trying to get a business started, it's very, very easy to get unfocused because there's so many different things. There's so many things that are like, oh, look at this. This is a way you can make money. No, this is a way you can make money. No, look at this. There's a new way you can make money. Look at all these people making all this money on this new thing that you never really tried. Like, there's always some new shit. There's always some new shit. Like, even this past week, meme coins. There's people that are making, I don't know if you're into crypto, but if you're into crypto, you know that people have been buying and trading and freaking making hella bread on meme coins, right? So that unfocused part of me is like, oh, like, I want to drop a meme coin. I want to make a meme coin. You know, just like that unfocused part of me was like, oh, I want to start a school account. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to, what about this way? They're making money like this. I should try this. They're making money like that. I should try that. But that there's like a very tiny, tiny voice inside of me that's quiet. And it's not like this. It's not flashing. It's not waving its hands around like all of these things that are popping up in my face. But it's so right. It's like, no. It just is always saying no to me. No, 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 no. That is not what you want to do. No, you said you're doing this. So keep doing this. Do not go over there. Do not go to the next thing. Don't jump. Don't split your focus. And I don't always listen to that voice, you know, and it can be hard. It can be really hard because not only do you have to say no to yourself, but sometimes that means that you have to say no to other people when things are brought to you, when, you know, whatever, right? You have to say no to other people, which is, it can be even harder than saying no to yourself. But I think that saying no is so important. And if you can't say no all the time, literally all day, if you can't say no to doing, to getting out of focus, to doing that thing that just popped up, if you can't say no to the pop-ups in your life, then you're never going to get anywhere. You're literally going to spend 10 years on something that you probably could have done in a year. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your life. You're going to waste your talent. You're going to waste your potential. If you cannot focus, you're going to waste everything. So like, this is like, I guess, a message to me. Again, like all of these videos, I'm really talking to me for real. But it's also like a message. I'm talking to someone too with this. Like, stay focused. Whatever you said that you wanted to do at the beginning, whatever you set your sights on at the beginning, whatever that project was, whatever that business was, whatever that business model was, do that. Look every day at that. Don't look over here. Don't look over here. Because there's shit that's everything is constantly trying to get your attention. There's a new way to make money. There's a new get rich quick thing every single day. There's a million of them. But stay focused. It's your duty to stay focused on the thing that is the most important. Like today, even as a, so what I was getting to, like as an artist, so I'm an artist, I'm a creator, but then I also am like a business owner, like a person that has a business. So when it comes to that, it's like, okay, it can be very easy. Even sometimes the business is a distraction from my art. Sometimes the business can be a distraction from me as a creator. Like today, I had to wake up Sunday night. I write my schedules, right? I think a lot about what I put on there. Like it takes me a lot of mental energy to put these things out, to make a schedule for myself, because there's so many things that I could write down. And I have to go and prioritize in my brain what needs to be written down and what can be left out. What makes the page and what does not. And deciding what you're not going to do takes a lot of mental energy. Because there's so much shit to do. There's so much shit you could be doing. There's so much shit. There's always so much shit. There's so many distractions. So it can be very, very hard to like quiet down and be like, no, I'm going to do this and this and that. I'm not going to do that and that and that and that and that. None of that is going to be written down. None of that makes the page. So like, sometimes the business can even be a distraction from the art. You know, like when I was making my schedule this week, I had to be very intentional about reprioritizing my own music and my own art above the business, above the money, above the freaking sales calls, above the freaking whatever. Because you can only have one main priority at a time. You can't have multiple priorities because they're not going to all get 100. They're going to get 30, 20, 15. Only one thing can get 100%. So, like, when I was making my schedule this week, I had to be very intentional about prioritizing my own music, you know? So, on my schedule this week, I'll tell you guys today, I woke up and I immediately started, like, editing my content, you know, for this week. Like, you see in this video, you see, like, the stuff that I'm working on. I immediately, you know, had to prioritize that. I had a conversation with my engineer about the next song. I checked on my animator for the, you know, for the content for the next song that I'm dropping. I sat down and I edited the content for Ride or Die, the song that's currently in the promotion cycle. So, like, I had to be very intentional about prioritizing my own music and my own art because sometimes, like, you know, other things can be a distraction. Like, I've been sending messages every day, you know, to people, warm outreach, DMing people every single day to get new clients, to prospect, to get, you know, to nurture leads, to, you know, like, get new business. But the thing is, though, if I wake up and that's my number one priority, sure, I will get more clients. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I have gotten more clients, you know, but my music then would have to come second to that. Right? And then now I have to have a conversation with myself about what is really more important and what it is what was the original thing, girl? Was it a business? Was it getting rich? Was it making all this money? No, it was expression. It was self-expression. It was art. So don't forget to keep the main thing the main thing. Okay? You gotta focus because there's so much shit that's going to constantly want your attention. You have to focus. And sometimes money can be a distraction from your art. Sometimes business can be a distraction from your art. Sometimes art can be a distraction for the business if that's what your focus is at that point in time. But you have to know, like, what is that number one thing? What is the main thing? And am I keeping it the main thing? Am I prioritizing that every single day? Am I prioritizing how to get my music? If the main thing is music, am I every single day prioritizing how to get my music to more people? How to make my music better? How to blah, blah, blah music? How to, like, am I prioritizing it every day or not? And if I'm not prioritizing it every single day, then it's not the main thing anymore. And if it's not the main thing anymore, then there is something that is the main thing. Whether it's a business, whether it's the fucking that, the this or that, whatever, it's a job. If you have a job, this and that. I remember I was freaking working a job, you know, and that's 9 hours a day. So at that point in time, that's the first thing I do that day. That's my number one priority. And then everything else comes after that. You know, the music has to come after that. It has to come after hours, has to come on the lunch break, has to come on the boom, boom, boom. But at the time, the job was the number one priority because I needed money. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you might have different priorities at different times, but it's completely necessary to go to sit down, have a conversation with yourself, and ask yourself what the actual main thing is right now. And is it what you want it to be? Because I realized, making my schedule this week, the first thing that was going on my list these past, like, few weeks was warm outreach. That is business. That is marketing. That's sales. That is not art. That's not music. You know what I'm saying? Even, like, freestyling in the mornings, doing something, writing in the mornings, like, that stuff, putting that first makes a big difference because that means that that's your priority, you know? And then second to that is, what are you spending the most time on? If it's something that's not the main thing, then it's probably a distraction, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. Today, I just feel like I wanted to talk about focus because I felt myself drifting away from my focus. And now I'm having to refocus. And so now I'm refocused on the music. And guess what? That means what else? What's going to take a hit? That means the business might take a hit. That means the other shit might take a hit. Because if I'm putting, like, all if I'm putting most of my time and most of my mental energy into the music, then that means that I can't put it into something else. There's something called opportunity cost. Once you apply dollars, attention, any type of capital, any type of resources to a thing, that is resources that you cannot take and apply to something else. So every time you make a choice, you are also making a choice to not choose something else. If you made a choice to focus on your music, you are also making a choice to not focus on the other list of things that you could be focusing on. So, like, just be aware of that. Be aware of where your focus is going, where your time's going, where your attention is going. Don't be afraid to refocus. Don't be afraid to refocus and then have to decide to cut shit off. Don't be afraid to walk away from things. Don't be afraid to say no. Because I know a lot of the time I can be afraid to say no. You know? It's hard. It's really fucking hard to say, it's really freaking hard to say no to me, for one, because everything looks awesome. Everything looks shiny. Everything looks like the thing that's going to solve all my problems. But it's also really hard to say no to other people, especially if you love them, especially if they're your friends, especially if, this or that, or you respect them, you admire them, or, and it might not be a no, it might just be a not right now. And you might get pushback for that. You might get pushback from a not right now, or from a no, from other people. But again, it goes back to priorities. Who is the number one priority in your life right now? God, your mom, your brother, your sister, who? And then also, what is the number one priority in your life right now? Like, just be aware of these things. Because, like, if you're not aware of them, and I'm speaking for myself, from my own personal experience, if I stop thinking this way of, like, focus, is my attention being split too many ways? Did my priorities change? If I'm not constantly evaluating this in myself, then I will just slip into doing whatever. And then I'll definitely be stressed the fuck out because I'll feel like I'm out of control at that point and overwhelmed and, like, I'm saying yes to a million things and, like, I can't even be there for myself. Like, you'll just get split in there's a million directions to get split in. So it's a slippery slope. It's very hard to focus for a long time. It's very, very, very hard to focus on one thing over a long time and keep it the priority every single day, year after year. It's so hard. So that's why I'm saying this right now to remind myself and remind anybody else that this helps, that feels like they're unfocused or they have new shiny object syndrome where every single thing sounds good, new thing every week, new idea every week, new business idea every week, new this every week. Like, sometimes you just gotta sit down and just sit the F down. Sometimes you just have to sit the F down and just focus, just lock in. Don't look at everything else. Turn your phone off. You know what I'm saying? Turn your phone off. Delete apps from your phone. Turn on D&D. Throw it under the bed. I don't care. Like, but there will come a time where you have to do that, where there's something that's so important to you that you have to say no to everything else. And that is great. I love that. I love focus. I'm addicted to focus now. I don't like being unfocused. It makes me feel chaotic, So that's pretty much, that's what I'm here to say today, I guess. Just, like, focus. It's a very slippery slope to get, split in a bunch of different directions. And there's all these new shiny objects, all these new business ideas, all these new business models, all these new ways to make money, all this and that. But it's very, very hard to say no, and it's very hard to recognize distractions when they actually come up because they really just look like great opportunities. Distractions really just look like great opportunities. That's why it's so hard. That's why it's such a slippery slope when it comes to unfocus and focus and priorities and not priorities. Because everything looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. But anyway, again, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to see what we want to talk about in the space this week. So last week we talked about, do artists need managers? That was the question that we asked. We questioned everything. And we just talked to hundreds of artists every single week about these questions and try to find out solutions together. And I got to talk to an actual manager last week and get his idea of how to actually find a manager, what a good manager looks like. This week, I don't know what question we're going to have. But I have some ideas, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what everybody wants to talk about. But come through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be there with my amazing co-host, and we're going to be questioning everything together as creators about the creator economy, being artists, the whole 9 yards, and figuring stuff out together, So come through. And if you don't have a community also of people that you can talk to and ask questions with all the time and figure out things together with all the time, then I would definitely recommend. There's a bunch out there, but I'm just gonna have to say ours because I think that we have a great one and it's super beneficial to me, you know. So if you want to be, we have a private group chat. You can be in there. We don't really do like a lot of self promotion at all. We really mostly just have conversations together and figure things out and crowdsource solutions and share information and knowledge and opportunities. So if you want to be in that, you just got to come to the Twitter space on Friday. One Friday, it doesn't have to be every single Friday, but you have to come to a Twitter space at least so you can pass the vibe check both ways. And then either me or Pastel ETH can add you onto the Twitter group chat. I know it's been growing. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the spaces, that's been supporting Ride or Die. Thank you. Keep streaming. That's been supporting anything at all. I really, really appreciate you so much because everything's been just growing. So everything goes noticed as well. Nothing goes unnoticed. No support goes unnoticed. So I really, really appreciate everybody. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. But yeah, until then, love you. Crash Road, gang, gang. Peace.